Hello, I'm Alan Dyer, and this is Alan's Science Corner. Welcome. Today I'll be looking at technology to stop a global pandemic. Well, okay, maybe not quite that grand. I'll be looking at the Hong Kong Stay Home Safe wristband as issued at the end of June 2020. Arrivals in Hong Kong are required to quarantine for 2 weeks, and this is monitored by a mobile phone app and this wristband. Point 7 of the instructions say that at the end of the quarantine period, the wearer may uninstall the app and cut off and dispose of the wristband. Someone I know who completed their quarantine period decided to dispose of their wristband by giving it to me. How is this used? You put it on at the airport and go home. At home, you are sent an SMS with a link to install the app on your phone, and you use it to scan the QR code on the wristband. You enter your phone number and a number that came with the SMS and complete the activation by slowly walking around your home for a minute. The instructions say that the app monitors the environmental electronic signals such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and geospatial signals. Geospatial signals just means sat-nav or GPS. If the signals change, they might issue an alert and ask you to scan the QR code again. So, the app can tell where your phone is, and scanning the QR code confirms that your phone can see the wristband which is attached to you. Can the system be defeated? You could copy the QR code, leave your phone at home and let someone else scan the copy while you're out. That could work, but the wristband is large enough to contain some electronics. Maybe your phone is also communicating with the wristband electronically. Or could you cut off the wristband? Maybe the electronics can tell if the band is cut. Let's try to see how it works. The wristband weighs 38 grams. Looking at the cut end of the plastic band, there are no wires inside. So maybe the box can't tell if the band is cut. The box had an obvious seam around the edge. I peeled off the stickers to see if there were screws underneath. There weren't. I decided to cut along the seam with a hacksaw. After cutting around 3 sides, I could bend the halves apart. Well, there's a circuit board inside, and 2 red wires going to the 2 ends of the wristband. But there are no wires in the plastic band. So, I'll check the band with a resistance meter. That is showing about 22 kilo ohms, and the other side there 24, 25 kilo ohms. Quite variable. So the electronics can detect when the band is cut. Could you fool it by clipping a wire with a clip on each end to the band and cutting between the clips? Maybe, but the resistance would change as the wire was attached and the cut was made. The resistance would also change during usage, as your arm becomes sweaty, dried off, or you took a shower. But possibly, the electronics could identify a different pattern of changes if the band was cut. Here, at one end of the circuit board, there is a gold strip that looks like the antenna. A quarter-wave Bluetooth antenna should be 30 millimeters long. This is about 15 millimeters straight, but it also has a folded section and 2 short stubs where it connects to the rest of the circuitry. Looking at the underside of the board, there's a standard button cell to provide power. There is one main chip on the board. The number is N51802. A quick search identifies it as a Bluetooth low energy and 2.4 GHz system on a chip for cost-sensitive applications, produced by Nordic Semiconductor. In summary, what have we learned? The wristband is conductive and has a small computer that can tell if the band is cut, and can communicate with your phone by Bluetooth. It seems to be a successful application of technology to the problem of making sure people obey quarantine restrictions. Perhaps the box could be a little slimmer. There are a few millimetres of space below the lithium cell. The Hong Kong government is giving away computers. How cool is that? They expect you to wear them for 2 weeks, then throw them away. Not so cool. Most of these will end up in landfill. The box is sealed against water. How else could you take a shower in quarantine? So it is not easy to open to take the circuit board out. Probably not worth it for the small amount of materials that could be recycled. However, as a working computer, it is more valuable. The chip costs about $2 and it could be reprogrammed. Perhaps someone can come up with a useful project making use of these discarded wristbands. This has been Alan's Science Corner. Please wear a mask and stay safe. Goodbye.